Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Eliz, and welcome back to Project Ozone 2. I thought I was flying. Welcome back to Project Ozone 2. In the last episode, we were working on a handful of things. One, we were working on the farm. We did some questing. We got the top tier of the ME storage components. We have a lot of stuff for the neutronium compressor. The big thing that we're missing currently is just neutronium, which I currently have, 34 ingots of? We can get rid of 2 of those, and we're still a good ways away from having everything we need, but we can go ahead and make 4 more neutronium large plates. And we currently need, 6? So that's 48 more. So, still a lot. But then the last thing we were working on was getting a lot of power. So I built a big reactor, quite literally, and this guy is finished. So inside is filled with, on the outside, resonant ender, and I actually did use resonant ender completely. Each block in here is a source block. Was made pretty easily by using the fluid vac. The fluid vac actually has 2 different settings. If I can, get rid of that. The fluid vac has 2 different settings, and it's currently orange. That means it's outputting. Thermal expansion likes blue-orange for input-output. If you didn't know that, but the output worked just fine to fill this guy up. So he is completely filled up with everything. I don't know how good he's going to be, but we're going to find out today. So there's a handful of things we still need to do before we can move power completely. But the other thing that I was working on for quite a while was the farm. And one of the big things with the farm is this. So this should look a lot different. As you can see, there's only a couple of things that have essence in them, either because they're more useful this way, because there's multiple recipes, or well, okay, the main reason is there's multiple recipes that are useful. Things like the bottles of enchanting. That comes from experience essence. Experience essence is useful for the experience books, for enchanted books, but I don't really care about that because we have other ways to get enchanted books that are honestly a little bit easier, so we're not going to worry about that. So this, for example, the experience is going to get made into bottles of enchanting only. One that was a little bit tricky was Wither Essence. We're actually going to need the actual Wither Essence for later. Chaos Catalysts require Witherproof stuff, so we're going to need that. Otherwise, I would have just turned them into the Wither Heads, because that is a 3x3 recipe. Anyways, this is completely and utterly loaded up. Some things are completely full, others are not. And honestly, as we kind of discover what we're going to be using a lot of and what we're not, we can turn farms off. Speaking of which, every single farm is currently active. Now, this might be a little bit laggy, but all of these farms are active. As you can see, they are all working. The way I did the filters was, for this one in particular, so we had fire, air, earth, water, nature, dye, experience, obsidian, and nether seeds. All of those are useful for multiple recipes except for experience and obsidian, so those are what's getting filtered. And honestly, we can turn that farm off. We don't need these farms either. This one is blacklisting cow and chicken. Those are the only 2 in this one that I cared about. Pig and sheep give you exactly 1 thing, so I figured it'd be easier. And then this one is much more. It's skeleton, creeper, spider, and wither. But all in all, we don't really need to have all of these farms running. Could probably turn this one off as well, but I think I'll leave that one running. So, yeah, the big one is these guys, but we can't really do too much with that for now. Anyways, I stole the windmills from over here, but everything is working. I also had to add another infinite water source over here just to kind of help make sure there's enough water at the ends of these. Seem to have worked, but anyways, let's get out of here. It is super duper laggy there. A lot of the lag is just rendered lag, so it shouldn't affect us too much else. I mean, we can... I've been AFKing for quite a while, actually. We can actually check. Let's see, where is last millennium? It's 20 ticks per second at 1.48 milliseconds, where the overworld is 4.16. That's, yeah, the nether is, it's slightly worse than the nether, but I mean, that's bearable. So it should not really be affecting too much for us, so that's good. Anyways, I've been working on trying to get more solar panels. As you can see in here, we got a lot. That's something we're going to work on probably another time. But the first things first, I want to get the reactor going. And for that, we're going to need the cryo-stabilized flux ducts. We're going to want quite a few of these. They're relatively cheap, to be honest, in terms of like... Each one is pretty simple to get, but we're gonna do something like this and bring this just straight over here. We want as much power as possible to this guy, and for now that'll be fine. Now we're gonna have two things over here. We're gonna have an output here, and we're going to have an output here. If we want to add more, we can just... In fact, we're going to add one more layer at least. You know what? Let's do two. Never mind. Let's do all of it. We're gonna make this guy just giant. So what we're going to do is we're going to break this down. And these wires don't matter too much. I'll probably go through and clean them up a lot more later, but at the very least, we're gonna need another tesseract, aren't we? Wait, hold on. You are sending energy. We can just move this guy, so let's grab him, and this guy will come down here. So that's one of the outputs. We're gonna still have you sending energy, and that'll be perfect. So we just need to add more of these guys. And this is going to be a ton of power, but that's kind of the point. So before we do anything else, let's get some more vibrant capacitors. And then we also want to grab our tesseract, so we can input power. And I think the smart thing for this would be just to put it somewhere central-ish. But see, those are inputs. I guess we'll just put it right here and set it to main and receiving energy. So that should be fine. We'll break those. Honestly, I don't think we're going to have the solar panel doing too much for now. I mean, he's not getting any power currently. He will here soon, but it's not too much of a concern. Alright, so let's just add a little bit more capacitor banks, and we'll make a bunch more of these. So after we're done with that, we're going to turn on the reactor, and that should be a lot of fun. So this gets replaced, and we're going to need some nether stars, I think. So yeah, that should be enough. I want to make sure that we have vibrant capacitor bank in there, just in case. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be going to a new dimension. And the big thing with that is we're going to get access to new things. Specifically, we're going to get access to Bedrockium. Lots and lots of Bedrockium. So this guy has space for 20 billion RF. That's a little bit. And so let's go ahead and dump that. Dump that. Do we need any more cryo-stabilized? Do we have any more cryo-stabilized? Uh-oh. I didn't want to dump all those. That's fine. What we can do is just fly down here and grab this guy before we'll duplicate him and call it a day. Alright, so we're going to put one of these guys in here just for safekeeping, and I'll put a few in here. Alright, so the last thing we need to do is we need to get the Yellorium, and I believe I have a good bit of it in here. We're probably going to need more, and we're going to want some item conduits, and that should be good. And the last thing we're going to want is we're going to want to pick up this guy. Alright, so I wanted to make sure I know where the darkness is. Make sure there's no darkness around. And that's what we needed the cryo-stabilized flux duct over here for. Ugh. Alright. So item conduits, we're going to have extract, always active, insert, extract, always active. And now this is going to be the fun part. So there goes a stack, and it is relatively slowly filling up. This is going to take a lot of fuel. Why are we losing so much frame rate right now? I actually don't know. It seemed to have fixed itself. Alright, so we're going to need a lot of fuel. So let's start getting more. And here's the thing. We have 3,000 yellorite ore. So that should not be a problem. And then we're going to want one more cryo-stabilized flux duct. Alright, so I guess we'll do that, and we'll come back over to it in a second. Get some of the stuff taken care of. But yeah, hopefully this doesn't like mess up things or ruin anything, or anything like that. So we still have like almost 3 billion RF, which isn't bad. But once this guy, ooh, it's not even full. Wow. We need more Yellorium. Alright, well, that certainly is a thing. Shouldn't be too bad. Honestly, let's... Wow, we are getting so much frame rate issues now. Why? Hopefully it's not the reactor. That's the only thing that could be really bad. So let's get a bunch of stuff with this. Let's take half a stack of diamond blocks. And we'll just wait for that for a second. This will process and all that fun stuff. Is it over here that we're having issues? No, doesn't seem to be. This guy's doing okay. Alright, whatever it was seems to have fixed itself a little bit. Alright, let's just grab all of this stuff we can. So we have a good bit of Yellorium now. Let's go ahead and finish feeding this guy. It might be this. Alright, so he is 100% filled. So let's see how bad this reactor is. What's going to happen when we start him up? Alright, so it's producing a lot of RF per tick. What is that? 700,000? It's also going through about 13 millibuckets of waste per tick. That is a lot. But 700,000, that is more than enough to do some fun things. So before we do anything else, we're going to need a Bedrockium drum. Right there. I only want one. And then we're going to want one of these guys. So, Endothermic Pump, we've made these a few times now. I need to duplicate one so I don't have to make this again. Bucket. And what we're going to end up doing is going to another dimension. And this is going to allow us to get some really cool toys. Well, okay. It's going to allow us to get a ton of... Bedrockium, which is going to give us access to a lot of fun things. We need glowstone, redstone, and not fun powder, gunpowder. We need... I always forget we can't grab anything out of that. Alright, let's put this stuff here. Lava crystal. We're going to need an Eye of Ender. And then the energized water. So nothing too terrible. There's the Endothermic Pump. Let's go ahead and duplicate that another time, just in case we ever want another one of these. I don't know why I didn't do that before, but I didn't, so gotta do it now. And let's see, what are we going to need for this? We're going to need some power. So let's grab, I guess, a Tesseract. And we're going to want some conduit. Okay. So is that everything we're going to want? The only other thing I can think of that we will end up wanting is, we can get rid of the solar panel stuff for now. Let's just get rid of all this stuff and we can kind of work on it as we go. Except for the neutronium compressor. We're going to want a, is it called a charge porter? I can never remember. Phase field generator, this guy. Phase field generator. So that requires dimensional shards, which I don't believe we have any of yet. That's a pain. But once we get one, we can get as many as we want. So let's take off stuff we don't need. We're not going into space, so we shouldn't need any of this stuff. Let's just dump it in here. Let's see, what do we want to do? Let's see, we can portal gun. We could portal gun if we really were scared. Let's put things we don't necessarily need away. We shouldn't need our crossbow, but I am going to take it for safety. Let's make some more torches. Not that that really is a concern, but basically, we're going to go to another dimension, and this guy requires 200,000 RF per tick to kind of maintain itself. As long as this doesn't deplete, it is chunk loaded, so we shouldn't have to worry about things. And this should not be... Yeah, it's not really suffering at all. So we should have plenty of power to deal with this. This guy has enough of an input buffer, so this should be fine. We shouldn't have any issues going to another dimension at this point. We have plenty of power. Is it phased? Yes. But this phase field generator helps with that. It will give you protection if a dimension becomes unpowered. So we've died once to this, but basically what happens is if a dimension unpowers, it will effectively wow, it's draining 2 million RF per tick. Wow, that's a lot. Is that... No, okay, that was just to repower the machine because this guy wanted more stuff. But yeah, so let's see, we have this for home. But yeah, basically if the dimlet becomes unpowered, what can happen is really bad things. Basically, we'll die. We'll get crushed by a collapsing dimension, and it's not really good to have happen. But it doesn't happen that often. So real quick, before we go, I want to just go ahead and have some other stuff working. So let's get a bunch of gold. Let's just do this. We're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is a good way to get a lot of EMC. But we're going to have a much better way in just a moment. So, dialing device, home, Bedrockium, dial once. Alright, well, here goes nothing. If we need to, we can teleport out. We can fly away. We can do a lot of different things. We shouldn't have any negative effects because I put the effect on none. And the only things in this dimlet that this dimension that I specifically specified was molten bedrockium in huge orbs, huge liquid orbs, and no effects. So, oh wow, Jupiter stone. Okay, so we're in a Jupiter biome. What is this? Lead. Oh wow, that is cool. I've never seen this where it's like checkerboard? Question mark. We have sand. This is actually really cool. Those will explode. Is there... Bedrockium under here? No. Alright, there are zombies. This is considered space, I guess? Alright, so what we'll do is we'll just put down... actually, can we just do this? Put him down like so. Grab a tesseract. Why can't I see the Bedrockium? Main. Receive. And then as soon as we place this, it is filling up with molten bedrockium. Awesome. So I guess let's explore around a little bit. I really don't want to deal with mobs, but that is something that would be nice to look into real quick. I'm only seeing spiders and zombies, so that's good. So this can have dimlets. These are dimlet houses, and they can actually have really good dimlets. By which I mean like top tier. They are. There's a bunch of bats as well. They are relatively uncommon. But is this still filling up? Should be. I don't know why the texture is broken on that. But we are getting a lot of molten bedrockium. Another osmium ore. So yeah, we can get higher rarity dimlets from this, which is nice. I'm going to put a waypoint here. Portal out. And of course, we have our actual portal out, but that's just telling me that the main location is there so that we can find it fairly easily. Now, something that I'm curious about is, wow, chunk errors. If it wasn't night, I would want to dig straight down. I don't have my my one stuff. Oh, there are creepers in some areas because it's, let's see, we have Jupiter. This is still Jupiter. But it looks like there's some, yeah, this is a beach. So we can get normal spawns. So zombies and spiders only spawn on Jupiter, but everything can spawn in on the beaches. So this is really weird looking. It's kind of cool though. Alright, so that's that, which means we need to go over here. And honestly, we should be pretty close to being done with this. And honestly, that should be enough. So let's grab just Jupiter stone. Break this guy. He is full of molten bedrockium. We'll get all of our stuff and teleport home. Now, what's so great about molten bedrockium? Well, it has a very high EMC value. So that is precisely why we want it. So put these in here. And cycle back to that. We can look at those. Whatever. Alright, so I guess we want to grab our bag of holding. Just have all of this stuff on us. And we'll set up a way to get all of this bedrockium out. So we'll just dump this stuff in here. So what we're going to need is a casting. Let's see. Do we have grout? Do we have seared stone? Well, sorta. Let's get a single thing of grout. Or I guess two. Doesn't really matter. We'll come down here. We'll cook them. That'll take no time at all. And something else we can do, just for the time being, is if this is close to being full. Nah, it's only about halfway. But how are we doing on... Whew, we've gone through quite a bit of Yellorium. It looks like it's about... Let's see. About 1 every 4 or 5 seconds. So we'll deactivate this. And I want to get some passive power going. But that's going to be the solar panels. So that's what we're going to be working towards. Anyways, seared stone. Let's get 7 of those. We'll make a casting basin. And then we're going to need conduits, ender fluid, and an item conduit. And I guess let's just do this right over here. So we put this guy down. Let's see, this is going to be insert. We're going to need a chest of honestly any variety. It doesn't really matter. Let's just, I don't want to make a new one. Let's just get the gold. We'll put that here. We'll put a item conduit here. Actually, let's reverse this. And I want a lever. You'll see why in just a second, but it's a really cool trick you can do to kind of guarantee that you don't overfill something. So we're going to put this here. We're going to put the lever. Let's see. I want to put this here. I guess we'll put that there, which means the lever will have to go here. We'll put the chest here, basin, and item conduit. So item conduit, extract, always active, insert, pretty easy. And then this is where it's going to get complicated. So we're going to have in, out. Extract will be active with signal. And then this will be in, out. Extract will be active without signal. So to kind of demonstrate, we do that, and it will go back and forth. So if there is less than enough for a full block, we'll be able to put it back into the drum. But this will give us Bedrockium. So that's 1.8 million. Now, obviously, it's going to be a pain to transfer, but we can put that in there, and what we can start doing is solar panels. That will make us a lot more solar panels fairly easily, fairly quickly. I mean, just that was 13. And in that time, we've gotten 4 more. And that's going to make us half a stack almost immediately. So EMC is going to be a lot easier to deal with. We could make other dimlets. Let's see. Let's make sure this has only what goes in it. So biomes, controllers, digits, features, no liquids, materials, or effects. So there was no effects in that one anyway. There's only so many effects, but something else we can look at is things like I want to see if we can get material. So we could do like blocks of diamonds, blocks of emeralds. Those are very expensive. Usually not worth it, but things like let's see, where is it? There is a bunch of Kepler 22B blue diamond, green diamond, red diamond, yellow diamond. Those will be good, and those are relatively expensive. So a lot of the values are changed, and the mod maker, the mod pack maker, whose name is who is the main one? I don't remember his name. Cazador or something like that. Looks like they were pretty smart, and changed a lot of the values in these to be a little bit more, well, kind of what we need to avoid. So, for example, kind of showing off the Kepler stuff, these are all R2s. Now, R2s are usually, so like Jador is pretty high, but not the, these are all, they just change all of the rarity 2s to be, I guess so. Rarity 2s are, I mean, here's a rarity 3, and it's like 44,000. That's a little bit more realistic to normal. So there is that, like, some of the stuff is messed with and a lot harder to deal with. I don't know why it keeps doing that. A lot harder to, like, have the power for. So it's something to keep in mind. There is no... So one of the things we're going to want is a dragon dimlet, which would be really nice. Now, there is a way we can make dimlets. But in order to do that, we would need a syringe, one of these guys, and the dimlet workbench and all that kind of stuff. We'd also need to resummon the dragon, which we're not quite ready to do yet. So we have 30 blocks. That's 30,000 EMC. That's going to give us quite a few of these guys. Probably a couple stacks, yeah. So once we fill up all the solar panels, we can make the top tier solar panels. And that would be something that would be really nice to do today. So let's try to get that taken care of. So we'll throw in some nether stars. Those are not nearly as much. Diamond blocks are also not that good. But I mean, they're good enough to get a few. So what else can we do? Let's look at the quest book. There's got to be some other things we can start looking at. We could make the portal to the deep dark. That shouldn't be too bad. Oh, yes, it will. Never mind. We could continue making demon steel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we'll do something like that. Demon steel is 15,000 EMC each. So really, it's just a matter of getting more EMC, and then once we get a good bit, we can just flat out finish making things. So we're getting there. Gold blocks are decent, but not for what we're currently doing. So let's see, what else can we do? What else is in the quest book? Epsilon. We have demon steel. Yeah, that's not going to happen for now. We're working on the solar flux, and the imaginary time block requires 2 compressed Gaia blocks. I really don't feel like doing that. So actually, let's see how much neutronium we have. We have 4. Oh, something else we can do. I can turn this machine back on. I turned this guy off for a little bit just because I have a whole bunch of villager souls, which I don't know why those are stacking. That's really strange. They must be the exact same villager. But I got a bunch of these guys. I didn't want to do anything because it takes quite a bit of power, and I didn't want to drain our power supply. Which, oh right, we're still powering that thing. That should ease up things. The reactor is also offline. Right, a lot of things to kind of consider. So we could head back to these other dimensions if we wanted to. That is definitely a thing. Alright, let's grab all of this Eulorium. And we're getting this from the farm, so we might as well process it and all that kind of fun stuff. How are we doing? 19 more. And we still have a ton of stuff. Luckily, the endothermic pump is very fast, so we don't have to worry too much about that. We only need like 2 more stacks, so this is going pretty good. we should be able to make the solar panels, and then what we'll end up doing is once we get the EMC-able solar panels, we'll go ahead and put some down here on like a little offshoot, I think. Would probably be the best way. So you know what, let's go ahead and build that. So we're going to get some red quartz and some burnt quartz. And we just do like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 2, 3. So 2, 3, 4, 5. We're gonna want to light this up, and this will just be a little bit of an offshoot, just so that we have the extra space to have some passive power as well as the reactor. The reactor, we might set it up for power, to be automatically powered rather. I don't know. So let's see, is there anything in here? No, just that stuff. Alright, how close are we? We have 18 more. That should be pretty close. Alright, so if this isn't what we're going to do for the meantime, let's see, because we're going to do most of these quests, we're going to get up to, I think it's the solar panel tier 8. So solar panel V, yeah, the tier 8 is only 1,000,000. So once we get to that point, we can duplicate them a little bit easier. So this is all of the solar panel stuff that we're going to need to duplicate them once, to get up to that duplicatable one, minus the photovoltaic cells, which we can duplicate those pretty easily. So in the meantime, I want to take a look at the Infinity Catalyst some more and see what else we can make. So Infinity Catalyst, Temperio Essence blocks, that's going to be expensive. Alloy sponges, MSG pills, copper canisters. So that shouldn't be too bad to make if we can get some compressed copper. We just need 3 stacks of that. But I kind of want to wait. What is going on with lag? Having some major issues with lag here lately. Alright. So that is almost exactly enough. Cool. Alright, so I want to make sure before we do anything else, we have the solar panel in there. Alright, so we can dump that in there. And now what we can do is we can go ahead and make 3 stacks of this. And one of these days we'll make a chest that's a little bit faster at this. But let's go ahead and make the 3 stacks of compressed canisters, or copper canisters, or the 1 stack rather. And that goes next to the MSG pill. Cool. So something else in that whole thing. So we're going to forget about the Infinity Catalyst for the rest of the episode. Let's go ahead and make these solar panels. So we have all of these solar panels. And we're going to do stacks upon stacks of these. So solar panel tier 3s require gold. We're going to be making 4 sets of these. And what are the panels we need for the solar panel 4? It's photovoltaic cells 1. So we're going to need 3 stacks each. So we're going to need 12 stacks in total. That's not that hard. Let's move the sponge. So 1, 2, 3. And there is solar panel tier 4. So that is a quest. We're going to take the leftmost reward bags today. And let's go ahead and do this again. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6. And this is not too much of an issue to do. Recipe, there's another stack. And then we just need 1, 2, 3. 3 more. Alright, so this is a lot less tedious than the applied logistics stuff was. But next for the solar panels tier 5, we're going to need a stack of these, and I think just grab all this stuff. Tier 5 requires photovoltaic cells tier 2, which again is EMCable. So that's what we're going to do. They also require quartz chipsets. Let's go ahead and put that in there. We have a good reward bag that's kind of okay. We need more EMC. Wow, it is lagging so hard, and I don't know why. We still have so much molten bedrockium. That's going to be something that's just going to kind of sit around for a while. And yeah, this should give us more than enough. In fact, let's just take that out. And there is solar panels tier 5. Full stack of those. So again, leftmost. And now in order to do anything with this guy, same thing. So let's see, this 16 of these. And we only need like a stack of this, so solar panel tier 6. Again, leftmost reward bag. There's 2 graders. So tier 6. Now we need the diamond chipsets, and to make tier 7, photovoltaic cells tier 3. So in order to do that, we need some energized glowstone. How much of that? We just need 2 millibuckets, or 2 buckets worth. So glowstone, I can't remember, does glowstone give us 1 bucket, or does it give us more than that? It is 1 millibucket. So we're going to need... Right, I was making resonant ender in here. 2, 3, 4, we're going to need 20. And we just put 1 in there, and it will process and all that fun stuff. So we're almost there, pretty easy. By the way, I have a Bedrockium drum full of jelly cryothium. That was also pretty easy to make. Jelly cryothium itself is relatively cheap on EMC. But this is going to take a moment. Actually, energized glowstone. The color... Okay, those give 900, but they should be faster because it's less processing. So let's go ahead and make 2 glowstone blocks, and we'll get this taken care of fairly quickly. Oh my gosh. I want to fly, please. Okay. How are we doing on power? Still plenty. And here's the thing, the solar panels, once we have the one that has EMC, that generates 32,000 RF per tick. That's pretty good for kind of like daily use. We can also take this guy down here. And we're going to just put him right here. So while we're waiting for the solar panel stuff, let's go ahead and grab some conduits. So conduit. Let's make a few of these. Should be enough. And this will just be another source of power. Kind of more consistent. And then we can just plug it off of this for the solar panels. We'll make a couple of them. So there is the photovoltaic cell tier 3. Just put that in here, duplicate it for a while. Put that there. And we're gonna need like maybe a stack. Oh my gosh, lag. So that is tier 7. Again, leftmost. And then tier 8, which I have a feeling is going to be the exact same thing. And it is. So tier 8. So let's see. One, we're going to duplicate that a few times. And I guess we'll do this. Let's see. Tier 9. What do we need? Another photovoltaic cell upgrade. Alright, that's easy enough. 4 of these. Is this useful for anything other than upgrading? No. So we actually don't care too much. But I want to keep them. So we have 3, 8. We're going to need 2 blaze rods. You can go in there. Let's make sure we have, yep, tier 3. And let's see, we're going to need an emerald chipset, which we happen to have. Machine base, which we can duplicate a handful of those. More than anything, just to have them. Alright, that's plenty. And then we just come over here to the induction furnace to make the next tier of stuff. And call it a day. So more photovoltaic cells. Duplicate those. And there is tier 9. Again, leftmost. Now tier 10, can we make that? Yeah, it's the same thing. So we just need an emerald chipset, so redstone and an emerald. Hopefully this doesn't take too long. But everything else is literally just the same. So we'll 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 of these. Then we need a machine base. And again, let's make sure we have photovoltaic cells 4. 4. Alright, so the only thing left is the emerald chipset, which shouldn't be taking too much longer. Yeah, not at all. Alright, can we grab it? Missed it. Alright, so with that taken care of, this should give us solar panel tier 10, leftmost. And then if we want the solar panel tier 11, 12 is ridiculous to make. We could actually, but it's ridiculous. But 11 is just as bad. So we'll stop at 10. Now 10 is 3 million per solar panel. And we're going to take 3 of these. These guys will generate 130 RF, 130,000 RF per tick. So this should be more than enough. Other than the fact that this they cannot be connected. This guy is generating 4,000. So yeah, this is going to charge more than it can actually do. Can we do multiple? No? Okay. So this is going to have a lot of power stored up in it as well. It can store 124 million. So all in all, I think that's pretty good. Good backup power, kind of good when we don't need a lot of power. We can survive on that. Hopefully. So let's get rid of this stuff. We don't care about that. We have 20 more enticing crystals. That is good. And let's open these reward bags. So we have a good cobblestone framework, whatever. We have a grater. We have 2 of these. Some packing tape and some viaducts. We have epics, ultimate bin, electric chainsaw, and then 2 legendaries. A starfield creator. Alright. This isn't like that crazy. Is it useful for anything? No. Alright, and then Armageddon. Oh man. So we just got the best crossbow in the game. Finally. This thing is just slightly ridiculous. Let's put our old stuff away. Let's actually put all this stuff away. And yeah, this thing is kind of crazy. It will one-shot pretty much anything. And it will also level up very quickly. Not that it matters. Yeah, this does 875 hearts of damage. It's infinite durability. Arrow speed is incredibly fast. It has 14 modifiers. It has soulbound. It's crazy. I mean, we kill a couple of these guys. And the ammo is also soulbound. It has auto repair X. It's unbreakable. Yeah, this stuff is ridiculously overpowered. There is a sword that is just as good that I've been looking for. We haven't got that yet though. So this stuff is just going to constantly get upgrades, and that's okay. I don't really care. But anyways, that is going to be it for today. So the plan from here on out is we are going to... Whoops. That doesn't go in there. Let's do. We are going to be looking forward to kind of... the big thing is we need to wait for neutronium. We need a lot of neutronium. But on the other hand, we can start looking at getting the Wand of Animation ready. Specifically getting the Demon Steel and getting the... what else do we want to get? The Wand of Animation. The Demon Steel is kind of the big thing, the Vibranium, and anything else that we can manage at this point. The Infinity Ingots, getting enough Infinity Catalyst to go. So we'll start making some of this other stuff. Cosmic Meatballs, for example, and whatnot. So that's going to be the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!